So we'll give it a couple minutes and then we'll get started. If you've got questions, get them in. We didn't get a lot this week, so it's going to be fairly short. That means we've got a little time, so flip them in there if you've got something. If we can speak to it, we'll speak to it. If we can't, we can't. Okay. All right, so we've given everybody a couple minutes to get in, so let's just go ahead and get started here. I want to start with some generalizations. Just, so everybody's on the same page here. Then we'll walk through the usual. We'll go through AI, COVID, general news, and take any additional questions. So first, I want to talk about material information releases. Just so everybody's clear, these Discord channel talks are not material information disclosures. Okay, that's governed by law. Like I can't disclose anything material here. So, for instance, let me give you a recent example. If we sign a contract like with the EV guys, and the details of the contract, i.e., what exactly is going to be done, etc., have not been publicly disclosed for whatever reasons, whether that's security checks or contractual information, etc. If that hasn't gone out in a public press release or something like that yet, I can't address it here. Okay. And that's the rules. Like I don't make the rules up; those are done to keep the market fair for everyone, and that's done by the authorities. So please, when your questions come in, realize that, like, if you're asking for details or financial details or, things like that of these contracts that have not been disclosed publicly, they will not get disclosed here, as we're not allowed to. Okay. Now, that being said, I do want to go over the contract bids we're in, or at least the big one we're in that we've been in for a year and a half with the government, because I keep getting the same question over and over. I want to try to get this one so everybody is on the same page before we head into the holidays and how this works. Okay. So we've been in this bid for quite some time along with other companies. And some people refer to this as the $40 million contract. It's the biggest one we're involved in with the government right now. Okay, this is how these things or this particular one rolls out, and this is very common structure. So we've been in these bids to complete milestones for over about a year and a half now, and we've completed several of those milestones, and you guys have seen those. These are the ideas program, etc. Now, the way this rolls out is as every milestone is completed, the field of who's allowed to continue working narrows. All right, so you keep bidding, and that's what we're doing. So we have successfully kept bidding. Now, as the next gate or milestone opens up, the people that have done good work are selected to do that, and the contract continues. So when they start talking about $40 million contracts and stuff, the government, that is the total amount of what they're guesstimating to spend on this particular piece. All right. Now it's not going to be exactly that. It never does. It never ends up being exactly that. So once all the, line items are in, this could come down to 43 million or, 35 million or whatever it is. But that's an estimation that they put on the RFP. As to the amount that the contract's going to be evaluated at. So $40 million. And that gets released in stages. And you guys have seen that previously. So stages are, if they're successful at the milestone, you get cut a check. We've already seen a few of those. we're on to the next milestone, which is a bigger one. Again, the field's been significantly narrowed down. I'm not allowed to talk about who it is in and out of the field at the moment. And so you're looking at that type of contract over the course of the next couple of years. Annualized amounts have not been released yet. And again, they're ongoing contracts. So when the next milestone comes up, and if we're selected to participate, which at this point it looks really good, that information will come out and the amount of the milestone will come out. And then this will continue over the next 2 years, something like that, 2.5 years. And I'm sure that'll be impacted by the ongoing COVID situation also, since every contract we've got's been impacted by that. So just in recap, just so everybody's clear, these are milestone-driven projects, and it's the same one we've been on forever. So soon, if we get selected to participate in the next milestone, which again we're in the finals of, and we will then receive a portion of that, funding, and how much that is, we don't know yet, but it goes up significantly every chunk. And then that will be announced, and we'll continue to knock those milestones down. Okay, so I hope that adequately explains how this works. I'll try again if it does not. Okay. So I hope that's covers MDA, everything, et cetera, around that contract, because I keep getting the same questions in. But again, I don't mind if you don't understand it. Please do, keep asking questions. I will continue to try to make sure that everybody understands what's going on here. Okay. All right, so let's go into some general questions. Again, do we have an update on the EV work? Well, it's only been approximately 2 weeks, so it just started. So some of the work that's in this, it is literally just started. So the first meetings have been with this technical staff are in. They've got their first assignments, and they're starting work on the frameworks, and some of the more bare bones stuff that we've got to do in order to get these types of applications up and running. But again, as more information is available on the EV work, we will disclose that. Yeah, so as soon as it's available, we'll let you know. But again, it's only 2 weeks old here. So hold your horses. It's coming. All right, next big generalized question that's come up talks about what's going on in the United States and stuff like that. We have hired a person to work PR and IR in the U.S. and abroad. She will be starting as soon as the holidays are over. So people are asking about what we're planning on doing there. Well, we're expanding those efforts, and we're going to start in earnest come January, as we've got somebody on board to help with that. And that's one of our goals right now, is to expand our presence in the U.S. and different geographies. And I've been speaking about that for a few weeks here. So that's the plan in place. We'll be introducing her and stuff as soon as the holidays are over. So you'll see her running around social media boards, things like that. So just hang tight. She'll be here as soon as Christmas is done, and we'll introduce her, and we'll see some more information and some more efforts going out into the U.S. and to other jurisdictions. So more general news. Do we have an estimate for the AGM? Not yet. When we do, everybody will receive it as required by law, and you'll receive your information packet in the mail or the email as you request. So no, I don't have a rough estimate for the AGM yet. So drone updates. Okay, this is we did actually get a note about this. They had originally told us September 30th there would be a deadline, and that came and went. And we've been waiting on an update ever since. Apparently everything's a little bit backed up there, but there are some questions that they asked us about the drone. Finally came back to us. There were 3 questions. I'm not at liberty to discloses their internal information about the company, or not Datametrex. That being said, it means the file's moving, but it also means that the auditor had questions and wanted some things, clarified before they could proceed. They said they're moving as fast as possible. He also made mention of something about Afghanistan holding up the thing with the refugee crisis, but I can't for the life of me see how that has anything to do with it, but that's what he said. So we have referred that back. They are running behind, and that's where the drone piece is. And depending on what they come back with, we'll either we can proceed with how we want to, or we'll either have to make changes, or there'll be some other recommendation that comes down from there. Okay. There's been okay, so I'm going to move on to just a few COVID questions. There's some that I don't understand, so if you want to resubmit, one question is, why are we not able to sell kits given, Health Canada is slow? Well, I'm not sure where this comes from. We are able to sell kits. We have been selling kits inside and outside Canada. We sell them every single day as we do, work for different companies within the Canadian borders, from coast to coast. So we can't. Next question, do we target other countries? Well, we've already been doing that. And okay, so this is all right, hold on one second. There's some clarification coming in on this one, which is what I was asking for, and I appreciate that. So just hang tight just a second. Okay, so they're talking about the MD. Okay, so this is the MDX kit and the one pot. Yes, we would like to be able to sell these kits, wherever, inside Canada, outside Canada, etc. Now, that being said, I have no comment about Health Canada. We've been over this one a few times. Things get submitted, and right now they don't take any questions, nor do they give out any comments. And that is their official stance at this stage. And it's not a Datametrex stance. I've repeated that before. This is, this is just a Health Canada stance. When they're in a crisis, they do not give any timelines, nor do they answer any questions regarding timelines. So unfortunately, I cannot say. And then we had another couple questions talking about supply chain as far as COVID is concerned. Right now, there aren't any real supply chain issues as far as COVID is concerned that are impacting us. And in fact, I don't know of any really at all. At the beginning of the pandemic, supply chain was all the problem. It's one of the reasons we were able to be successful in this is we had a rock solid supply chain due to our connections in Korea. But right now there's no supply chain issues, and there are that I know of that are going to affect us, and no foreseeable supply chain issues. I mean, this is the one type of product that people are definitively manufacturing right now is COVID materials. All right. So next COVID question, as home sales are expanding, do you foresee sales channels opening up? Well, we're certainly working on it as far as that are concerned. Every channel that we've seen down there, we explore and we go after. So yes, I do foresee sales channels opening up. Our team will be after them. One quick note, so people have sent in why we don't file SEC documentation. We do. Links are on the website. Like if we didn't file that documentation, we'd be closed. Like they'd shut us down. So we do file the information. And the next follow-up question to the antigen, going back to that, are we capable of filling large supply orders? Yes. I'm not sure what you mean by large, but when I say large, I'm talking, millions and millions of units. Yeah, we can supply that. That's not a problem. Um, okay. I got another follow-up question coming on this. Do we use sales staffs or agents in our sales channel? Both. So we have staff internally and we have staff on commission, like just pure commission that are external to the company. So we have both people, both types of people working on that. All right. Okay, guys, if there's any more questions, get them in because we've gotten through just about everything that's here. So I'll give it a couple minutes. And if there's no more questions, we can do it. We're gonna close this session for today. All right. Well, everybody have a great holiday. We're not going to be back in 2 weeks. And okay, so we're not going to be back in 2 weeks because of the holiday. So that will be Christmas weekend or the Monday after. We will post in the Discord channel about when the next planned Discord will be, and we'll work that out as over the holidays. So I don't know if it'll be the 3rd or the 10th. More likely it'll be the 10th based on people's absences and who we have available. But keep an eye out for it as that has not been decided just yet. So everybody have a great holiday. And we will see you, 3 to 4 weeks. Thanks, everybody.